Good afternoon and welcome to Blendertainment. I'm your host Andy Sullivan. Start out with a little NASCAR here. Kansas Speedway this past weekend. Stage 1 was won by Denny Hamlin. That was his fifth stage win of the year. Hamlin also won Stage 2. There was a Zane Smith crash that caused a red flag, so it went to overtime. In overtime, Chase Elliott passed Denny Hamlin on the final lap of the second overtime for the win. This was his second win of the season, and here we go. The playoff standings. Of course, right now, we're in the round of 12, so we're working on who's going to advance to the round of 8. So in the final 4 positions, the cutoff spots, if you will, number 12 is Austin Cindric, 48 behind. Number 11, Tyler Reddick, 29 behind. Number 10, Bubba Wallace, 26 behind. Ross Chastain is 13 behind. And plus 13 in 8th spot is Joe Logano. 7th spot, plus 21, is Chase Briscoe. 6th spot and plus 40 is William Byron. And in 5th position for the championship standings is Christopher Bell, up 44. 4th, Denny Hamlin, up 48. 3rd, Kyle Larson, up 54. 2nd, Ryan Blaney with 1 win. And in first place is Chase Elliott with 1 win. Now, the next bit of news, it was announced that Lainey Wilson would host the CMA Awards. Now, let me check out all of the specs here. All right. The 59th Annual CMA Awards will be held Wednesday, November 19th in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bristol Arena. Lainey Wilson will host the event solo after co-hosting in 2024 with, I believe, Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning. The show will be broadcast live on ABC and will be available to stream on Hulu the next day. And as far as nominees go, Entertainer of the Year, Luke Combs, Cody Johnson, Chris Stapleton, Morgan Wallen, and big surprise, Lainey Wilson. Although last year, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Luke Combs won last year. That was a surprise to a lot, as I thought Lainey Wilson was going to win. Album of the Year, Whirlwind by Lainey Wilson. I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen. F1 Trillion by Post Malone. Cold Beer and Country Music by Zach Top. And I'm going to call it the eventual winner, Am I Okay by Megan Maroney. She's having quite the year. Female Vocalist of the Year. Nominees, Kelsey Ballerini. She's got about as much a chance of winning as I do. Miranda Lambert, Ella Langley, Megan Maroney, and Lainey Wilson. This is going to be, once again, between Megan Maroney and Lainey Wilson. I think it would be a heroic feat if anybody beat Lainey Wilson, but, Megan Maroney, she's having a big year, so it could happen. Of course, last year, Ella Langley was having a big year, and she did not. So, male vocalist of the year: Luke Combs, Cody Johnson, Chris Stapleton, Zach Top, and Morgan Wallen. I do not know. I'm going to go with Stapleton now. Vocal group of the year: Lady A, Little Big Town, Old Dominion, Rascal Flatts, and the Red Clay Strays. I think it's going to be between Lady A, Little Big Town, and Old Dominion. Actually, Lady A and Little Big Town, probably, with Little Big Town taking it. Vocal duo: Brooks and Nunn, Brothers Osborne, Dan and Shay, Maddie and Tay, and the Warren Treaty. Again, I'm going to pare that down. I think this is going to be between... Actually, there is no competition. I'm going to give it to Dan and Shay. Yeah, Dan and Shay's going to win it. New Artist of the Year: Ella Langley, Shabuzi, Zach Top, Tucker Wetmore, and Stephen Wilson Jr. I'm going to give it to... Ella Langley. Single of the Year: 4x4 by You, Lainey Wilson, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma, Luke Combs, Am I Okay, Megan Maroney, I Never Lie, Zach Top, and You Look Like You Love Me, Ella Langley, and Raleigh Green. I'm gonna say probably Am I Okay is gonna win that. Song of the Year: 4x4 by You, Lainey Wilson, Am I Okay by Megan Maroney, I Never Lie by Zach Top, Texas, Johnny Clausen, Josh Dion. I thought it I thought it was Blake Shelton's song. Didn't he have a song out called Texas, or he did? You Look Like You Love Me is the final nominee. Raleigh Green, Ella Langley. I'm going to say Am I Okay is going to win that. Musical Event of the Year: Don't Mind If I Do, Raleigh Green and Ella Langley. Hard Fought Hallelujah, Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll. I'm Gonna Love You, Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood. Again, I could have swore that was last year. Pour Me a Drink, Post Malone, Blake Shelton, or You Had to Be There, Megan Maroney and Kenny Chesney. Probably You Had to Be There, Megan Maroney and Kenny Chesney. I love how, Kenny's giving back. That's great to the new artist, but I love how he hitches his wagon to the hot one. Remember a few years ago, he had Half of My Hometown with Kelsey Ballerini, and he was the reason that she won a CMA award for that song. And now he's kind of left Kelsey high and dry and hopped on the Maroney train. Yeah. So Megan, Megan and Chesney are going to win that. Music Video of the Year: Am I Okay, Megan Maroney, I'm Gonna Love You, Cody Johnson, Carrie Underwood. Somewhere with Laredo, Lainey Wilson. Think I'm in Love with You, Chris Stapleton, and You Look Like You Love Me, Ella Langley and Raleigh Green. That's another win for Megan Maroney. Am I Okay? Musician of the Year. Guess what? Megan Maroney nor Lainey Wilson are in this category. I'm sure that CMA would find a way if they could. Jeannie Fleener on fiddle, Paul Franklin steel guitar, Brent Mason guitar, Rob McNeely guitar, and Derek Willis guitar. I'm going to say Paul Franklin. That is going to be your CMA Awards, again November 19th, hosted by Lainey Wilson solo. And again, that's November 19th. I'm going to close by... actually, there's a few more things before I close. First thing... is something I got from a KSR email that I subscribed to. Pardon me while I take a drink before I read this. Clay County's finest knows a thing or two about good basketball, and Richie Farmer believes Kentucky has it under Coach Mark Pope, even if it took him a minute to get there in the 1996 National Championship. Like many of us, the Unforgettable heard all about the chatter about Scott Drew, Dan Hurley, Nate Oates, and Billy Donovan, and assumed John Calipari's replacement would be one of the big name home runs that had been floated out there. When Pope's name popped up as the likely hire, Farmer was left scratching his head. I was kind of like a lot of other people because there were tons of names being tossed around. He said in an appearance on KSR on Tuesday, I had heard his name, but it was way, way, way down the list. During that time, it was a shock that they had picked him. At least I thought, what? Mark Pope? Once the dust settled, he saw Mitch Barnhart's vision with the hire. Then it became even clearer when the season tipped off, and the idea of Pope's entertaining offense, potentially bigger and better than what we saw at BYU, with a blue blood brand spotlight, became a reality. The more I thought about it, the more it started to make sense, he says. All of us that got a chance to watch him coach this past year saw that he's one of the great young coaches out there, Farmer said. I mean, he's young in his career, but the way he analyzes games and the way he takes bits and pieces of what he's learned from different people that he's played with and played for throughout the years, I think he does an outstanding job. And his offense is something that these young kids, they want to play for him. They want to be a part of it. It's a big part of what's happening right now. You've got to have something that appeals to the young guys. Maybe the most important part for Farmer was when it comes to Pope's recipe for success. Why is it all working? His connection with Big Blue Nation and making sure every player that wears the uniform shares a similar connection and understanding of the role and history of the winningest tradition in college basketball. He seems to be able to do that, get them motivated, and get them to understand what it means to play at Kentucky. He continued. I think that had been kind of lost over the past several years, playing for the name on the front of the jersey. These fans are the greatest in the world, greatest fans of any sport in the world. When you play here, it's magical and it means something. It means something to these people. You could use the SEC Network tagline of "It just means more," which I guess I just did, didn't I? I think he's been able, continuing, I think he's been able to kind of make people that weren't like me, that didn't grow up here, make them understand that and make them buy into that. I just really like the culture and I like what he's doing. I love Mark Pope. Year one was a massive success, but what is in store for year two under Pope? Farmer has heard very, very good things about this next Kentucky team and its potential. Is a return to Indianapolis in the Final Four on the table? From one Wildcat legend to another, he wouldn't rule it out for the 96 captain. With this team that he's got this year, everything that I've been hearing, we've got a lot of potential and a lot to look forward to this year. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this team, Farmer told KSR. I'm always hesitant about saying we're going 40-0 and we're going to win the national championship. Yeah, you should be hesitant about that, because the last time we did do such a thing, it was 38-1, and that one was nasty in the national semifinal. Yeah. Mark Pope is about as nice a person as you'll meet face to face, but he didn't get to be head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats by taking it easy on his players. Amari Williams and his teammates found that out the hard way during Pope's debut season in Lexington. As a quick recap, Williams was a key piece to Kentucky's success in 2024-25. Though throughout an injury-riddled season, the 7-footer from England was a mainstay as one of the 4 players on the roster who appeared in all 36 games. A terrific passer for a big man, Williams was the perfect fit in Pope's offense. The results proved it. Williams averaged 10.9 points, 8.5 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 1.2 blocks per outing for the Wildcats on 56.1% shooting. He went from a 4-year player at Drexel to an NBA draft pick in one season under Pope. But the road to get there wasn't always easy. Williams, who was about to suit up for training camp with the Boston Celtics, told a story about a moment he realized Pope is not someone to mess around with. He recalls a situation where he and the entire locker room had to run 17 sets of 17s over a minor incident. For reference, one set of 17 means sprinting from sideline to sideline 17 times. So imagine doing that once and then having to do it 16 more times. Williams says after practice he goes, sideline. We're thinking we're going to do 117. Bro, 17 in a row of 17s, like back to back, a minute in between. Everyone was sprinting the first one because we thought it was 1. After that, no one else made it again. He cut it to like 11 or 12 because he had to go get a flight to go recruiting. So that's when I knew certain things ain't going to slide. A couple of Williams' former teammates confirmed that story too. In the comments of that TikTok post, both Brandon Garrison and Trent Noah said it was true. Man, still traumatized over it, Garrison wrote, while Noah added, yeah, he's not lying. That type of coaching clearly didn't turn either one of them away, though Garrison and Noah both came back and are currently preparing for their second season at Kentucky. But now I think we all ought to know who arrived late to the team meeting. Unfortunately, that's where the article ends. We don't know and we won't know, but yeah, I'd like to know. And again, I'll moving from sports to entertainment. I told you this earlier. I'll tell you again. The Kelly Clarkson Show returned this week. Used to be on NBC. WNKY40 has seen to it to take the show off and put on an hour of filler. I thought, that was. I looked in the guide a few weeks before Kelly's show was to start, and I thought, it's a mistake. They'll fix it later because sometimes the guides they take time to update. Day before its premiere, this past Sunday, the show, Kelly Clarkson Show, was still not on the rundown. So I thought, well, okay, maybe they're just waiting until the last minute. Monday afternoon, I turned on WKY40, where Kelly Clarkson Show used to be on, and it was not on there. There was a 30-minute Harlem Globetrotters show, and then there was another 30-minute show. So I thought, okay, where do I watch it? So I went on the Kelly Clarkson Show Twitter, and they said the Peacock app. So that's where I went, and sure enough, Monday night, that's where Monday's premiere show was, on the Peacock app. So if you don't have access to watch it and you have the Peacock app, you're in like Flint. Plus, it is a much better picture. The Peacock app is high definition. I had been watching Jimmy Fallon in high definition, and now I can watch Kelly's show in high definition as well. And speaking of, let's see on here. Let me see. Okay. June Squibb and Scarlett Johansson will be on the show. They were on the show yesterday. I'm a day behind. Matthew McConaughey was on yesterday to promote his Poems and Prayers book. I can't do that. I was going to say let's see who's on today, but can't do that because it's not on the guide. So tune in and be surprised, I guess, to the Kelly Clarkson Show on the Peacock app tonight, or you could do like I do with the you can't do. I was going to say you could do like I do with the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, which I just let like 5 of those. I can watch a week's worth of those. But apparently, Kelly Clarkson Show is on a timed deal where you've got 7 days to watch it, and then it's gone. I didn't know that. Found that out the other night. So check that out on the Peacock app. Taylor Swift will be on the Tonight Show October 6th. That is this coming Monday, and I'm just going to take a guess that she's the only guest. Henry Winkler was on last night. Let's see. What about tonight? Well, The Rock was on too, so I'll need to check that out. And about tonight, let's check this out together, shall we? Okay, let's, I'm turning I'm working the TV here, trying to turn the thing. So that's what the awkward silence is about. Okay, here we go. When my TV finally okay. Okay, here we go. Actually, before I get to Fallon, episode 2 of 99 to Beat, the new game show 99 to Beat, is on tonight on Fox. Now, if you've not seen that, I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host that show. Let's see. Survivor is on tonight at 7. Shifting Gears returns tonight for season 2. And we've got a home improvement reunion with Debbie Dunning and Richard Karn. I'm just gonna take a guess that that's probably a little bit of the show. It's probably not going to be the whole thing, but I could be wrong. Also tonight, Abbott Elementary returns. Season 5, the season 5 premiere is tonight. Golden Bachelor, if anybody cares about that, is on at 8 tonight. Jimmy Kimmel's got Emily Blunt. Ebon Moss Backrack and Geese performs. Big Daddy Kane sets in with Cleto and the Cletones. Tonight Show tonight, Doja Cat and Blood Orange. Renee Rapp and Christian Slater are going to be on Seth Meyers. Tomorrow night, well, the CBS shows have not returned, so tomorrow night, Lady Gaga is going to be on Colbert. Tomorrow night, Jeremy Allen White and Bruce Springsteen are going to be on Jimmy Kimmel. Mark Ruffalo, Addison Rae and Chase Infinity are going to be on the Tonight Show. Io Adebri and David Sedaris are going to be on Seth Meyers tomorrow night. Friday, Tony Shalhoub is going to be on Kelly and Mark Friday. Okay, Tom Hanks and Spike Lee. I guess Tom Hanks and Jimmy Kimmel can commiserate over Trump screwing both of them. Tonight's show is a repeat Friday as much as the such as they usually are. Now Saturday night we get the season premiere of Saturday Night Live, the 51st premiere of Saturday Night Live, 51st season premiere of Saturday Night Live, with host Bad Bunny, who, big week for Bad Bunny, because he was just announced Sunday as the Super Bowl halftime performer. So Bad Bunny is going to host Saturday Night Live, and Doja Cat is going to be the musical guest. on Saturday Night Live. So check out all of that stuff. And that's going to be the end for the podcast or the vlog this week. I still want to call it a podcast, even though it has not been a podcast in let's see, when did I transition this from podcast to vlog? I think it's been a year, maybe a little bit longer. So time flies, right? So yeah, thanks for joining this week, and I'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully. I am Andy Sullivan. You've been watching Blentertainment. Have a great rest of the week and weekend, and be calm, cool, and courageous, and peace out.